Hey, welcome to World Entertainment, and as we know, Starfleet Academy has officially been cancelled at Paramount. Thank God. Unfortunately, Season 2 still will be coming, but the cope session has begun. The meltdowns have begun. The excuses have begun. Because now they're pointing the fingers at, well, why was it cancelled? Oh, we know. You did it. How dare you? You anti-woke hypocrites, blah blah blah, and all this type of weirdness. It's like, what are you guys talking about? Yeah, we all know why it was cancelled. It was cancelled because nobody was watching it. Absolutely nobody. It didn't chart on any charts. Yeah, every time a new episode would drop, it would chart on Paramount for about 24 hours, and it never got higher than the 7th place. But then it would just vanish off the charts. The problem now is they're trying to say it was all of us. YouTubers did it. That site Blue Sky, which to be honest, until someone mentions that, I forget that's even a thing. They're having a meltdown. And it makes you wonder, for the so-called massive fan base that this thing had, where the hell were they to watch this thing? So we're going to have a look at an article that's breaking down why they think it's been cancelled. And it's hilarious what they're pushing in this, because again, as I've said multiple times, every one of these main articles always puts in the Rotten Tomatoes score, but they always just put in the critic score. And they do the same thing here, and they try and push that for justification as to why this show shouldn't have been cancelled. And it's fun. By the way, what's actually really funny is they always go with all critics score, which is 87%. All they had to do was click on the top critic score, because that goes up to 95%. It's either 95 or 97 or something. It's like ridiculously high with top critics. If you go to Rotten Tomatoes, by the way, and have a look at the score, do you know what they've conveniently removed? At least when I clicked into it. The amount of people who actually reviewed it. Normally you get told how many critics reviewed it. That's missing. As is the actual reviews. When you click in it, nowhere comes up that you can click on the review. So, that's just what I found. So, this article called Why Was Star Trek Starfleet Academy Cancelled comes from Screen Crush. So wait till you hear this crap. Oh, by the way, the first headline, you just know you're in for a train wreck of an article, because it says, Star Trek Starfleet Academy fans are reeling from the abrupt cancellation of the sci-fi show, which only premiered a little over 2 months ago on Paramount Plus.
What an idiot!
Really? Fans are reeling? Question. What fans? Oh, you mean the handful of retards that are on Blue Sky? Those people. The ones who are going, I wish it was more woke and all this weird crap. Yeah, good luck with that. So on Monday, not even 2 weeks after the Season 1 final aired, Paramount and CBS announced Starfleet Academy will not continue past its upcoming second season, which has already been filmed. They put in the announcement from CBS and stuff like that, where it's like, oh, we're incredibly proud and blah blah blah. And as I pointed out in the cancellation video I did, if they were so proud and grateful and loved everything they were doing, why wouldn't they continue it? Interesting. So it says, now fans are wondering why the Star Trek show, which has an impressive 87% critical score on Rotten Tomatoes as of publishing, was suddenly pulled. Now, before we go on, this is the thing, and I've seen this getting pointed out, and you're like, you know what? That is actually a really good question. You see how they just said there an 87% critical score on Rotten Tomatoes as of the publishing of this article. So they're thinking, is it going to change? Will it change? It never changes. That 87% has been there since the first episode. And that's the key thing to keep in mind when they keep pushing this Rotten Tomatoes score. Oh, It's got an 87% critical score. Why hasn't that changed? Why didn't the critics go back and revise their reviews or add more reviews? Really, why haven't they done that? Because you would think if they watched the entire season, they would continue to update their reviews or add to it or something to boost that score, or maybe even lower that score. But they never do they? No. They watch the first episode, maybe the first two, because they were actually given the first 6 episodes. But we know they didn't watch the 6 episodes. All you have to do is look at their reviews, because they never mention anything past the first episode. They watch 1 episode, they review it, and that's what they go on. So when they keep championing this 87% critical score, realistically, had they continued to watch it, would they have actually lowered that score, or would it have gone up? It's always interesting that the score remains the exact same for the entire run of the series and never changes. Fan 1 also never really changes. Why? Because they don't watch it. They go in, they watch the first 2 episodes which got available, and they go, I'm no longer watching this shit. And they put up their score. You notice they never say the fan score, which is 51%. So let's continue, where it says, while neither Paramount nor the project's showrunners Alex Kurtzman or Noga Landau have given an overt explanation, there are a few likely reasons why Starfleet Academy was cancelled so soon. According to Variety, the show's cancellation came most likely as a result of low viewership. None of Season 1's 10 episodes made it into Nielsen's top 10 streaming chart, indicating a relatively small audience despite positive critical ratings.
Shut up!
This is where it gets ridiculous. Let's explain something to all these absolute window licking morons who write these type of articles, because they would have been a part of the groups who received those first 6 episodes and reviewed it and put it on Rotten Tomatoes, even though they probably only watched the first episode and probably not even all of it. They just needed to see some of the woke agenda in there and go, oh, that's it for us. Give it a top mark. What movie, what TV show, what computer game, what comic book, what album is made for critics? Seriously, answer that question. Who is making these products for critics? They don't. They make them for audiences. For, more importantly, paying customers. Now, they're saying, why didn't fans show up? The critics loved it. Who gives a shit about what the critics like and what they don't like? Nobody listens to the critics. You have to be one of the most glorified window-licking morons out there if everything you base what you watch, read, eat, anything is based on what a critic says. Yeah, you can take what they say and take something from it where it's like, okay, I see what you're saying. Let's see if I feel the same way, and you go and you watch it and whatnot. That is more so how it works. It's not like, oh, well, the critics love it, I therefore must love it too. That's not what happens. These properties are not made for critics. They're made for an audience. And more importantly, keep in mind when they're saying low viewership, none of the fans came in. For all this argument of, oh, the fans are reeling. Well, where the fuck were those fans to push up the numbers for the show? Clearly they weren't there. So the only people who were actually watching this thing were us here on YouTube to review it. We were the only ones seemingly watching this thing. And keep in mind, for all this thing of why didn't the fans show up and stuff, they put this behind a paywall. This is on Paramount Plus. You have to buy Paramount Plus to watch it. So you are putting it behind a paywall. So you are trying to capture the normies, which means you are trying to convince the everyday Joe Soaps out there to invest their time and money into purchasing Paramount Plus specifically to watch this garbage fest. Why would they do that? Especially based on a critic score. I don't think that's going to happen. But it continued anyway, saying mixed fan reception, including toward the show's polarizing young adult tone, also may have played a part. No, the biggest thing that played a part is the show was unwatchable garbage. It had nothing to do with Star Trek. It didn't reflect Star Trek in any way. It wasn't made for everybody like real Star Trek is. It was made for a specific audience. And they even told us that. And what did they do? They portrayed that audience as the dumbest bunch of motherfuckers that's ever existed. That is where the biggest issue comes from. To watch this and think that this is what they think you are, how you act, and how you live your life, you should be fucking offended by that. If I was one of these young adults watching this thing, I would be offended by what they think we are and what we do. So, this doesn't play a part. Your show was dog shit. Nobody watched it. Nobody paid for Paramount Plus to watch it. That's why it was cancelled. Simple as. But it says, in general, the show also failed to generate the sort of buzz necessary for a franchise entry to maintain network support. Plus, ongoing leadership changes and cost-cutting measures at Paramount, as well as the company's impending projected acquisition of Warner Bros. Discovery, may have contributed to the level of uncertainty surrounding the show's future. Because they're buying Warner Brothers, Star Trek Starfleet Academy is the only show they decided to cancel. Oh well, we're purchasing another company. I guess we're gonna have to make some cost-cutting savers here. Where do we do? Oh, let's just get rid of Starfleet Academy that's already filmed 2 seasons. Oh, okay. Nothing else? No. We'll be fine. Just that will do. Are you shitting me? They're now trying to say, because Paramount are buying Warner Brothers, they have to cancel it. Good God. But then it says, Starfleet Academy also reportedly had high production costs, including big name cast members such as Paul Ganamini, who was in like 4 episodes, Holly Hunter and Tatiana Maslany, who was in 3 episodes, and a rumored budget of over $100 million for its first season. That could presumably no longer be justified when measured against its disappointing viewership numbers. So even this article has now just said the viewership numbers just aren't there to justify that. Apparently, they spent roughly $10 million per episode. That is insane, especially when you look at it and go, what did you spend that on? I pointed out in one of my reviews for the show that they had those little droid things, little Star Wars style droids, zipping around the ship all the time. Every time they were walking around, these little things were flying about. Until you got to about episode 4, and all of a sudden those things vanished completely. They were never seen again. I think you saw 1, maybe 2 of them in the final episode. Other than that, I just noticed that they'd vanished. I was like, it's almost like you ran out of money at this stage. But it says, still, while Starfleet Academy may be cancelled, that doesn't mean it doesn't have a future. Thankfully for dedicated fans, Paramount renewed this series for a 2nd season early on, and production on season 2 already wrapped in February 2026. Oh my god. Few things to unpack there. Number 1, it has a future. They're talking about the 2nd season. They're not talking about, could it go to another network or anything like that. They're literally talking about, don't worry folks, they cancelled it, but there's still the 2nd season to come out. In fact, they've already finished filming it last month, and they ended on a cliffhanger, by the way. So you are going to be so unsatisfied for this so-called dedicated fans that didn't show up. Where were they? Oh, that's right, they weren't watching it, were they? But then the fact that they're trying to push this again, thankfully Paramount had the common sense to renew this show before the 1st season even aired. No, Paramount did not renew the show. Alex Kurtzman commissioned himself 2 seasons. We've spoken about this at great length. That is why there's 2 seasons. He commissioned it. Why would Paramount, seriously, why would they go, okay, he spent 100 million on this, let's greenlight a 2nd season before anyone has even seen what this show is? No, that's not what happened. But as you can see, the cope is now starting to happen. Why was it cancelled? They're trying to come up with all the justifications, but the main one they keep running to right now is, YouTubers did it. Yeah, just go to Blue Sky, if you dare, and have a look at just some of the meltdown that happens on there. Clownfish did a great video showing and talking about all of this, and they showed the Blue Sky. I think you actually have to log into Blue Sky. Like, fuck am I doing that? But they showed a lot of the absolute woke meltdowns that are happening on there, where they directly blame us. Oh, it's all the YouTubers because they hated it. It's like, fucking YouTubers were the only one watching it, you window licking dickhead. Where were you? Where was all these people on Blue Sky? Where were they? They sure shit weren't watching it. And if they were, they sure shit weren't paying for Paramount Plus to watch it. So, yeah, let them cope. Paramount/Skydance did the right thing. They sat down with Alex Kurtzman. They heard his pitch for not just 1 more season of it, but 2, possibly even 3. The future of Star Trek on TV under his leadership. And they went, yeah, no thanks, we're good. Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you on your way out. Turn the lights off in the office as well, will you? You're done. So, it's finished. The garbage fest that was Alex Kurtzman's Star Trek is finished. Everything they filmed has been filmed. No rewrites, no reshoots, no redos, no new seasons. It's over. Good luck and thanks. So, what do you guys think about the cope session that is now beginning, and the fact that the media is trying to push, how could a critically loved show with 87% Rotten Tomato score from 1 episode, how could that possibly be cancelled? Let me know what you think about all of this, and have you seen some of those crazy responses and meltdowns that are happening on the likes of Blue Sky? Let us know. And with that, I shall leave it there for this one. So do like and share and subscribe and all that good stuff. Cheers, and I shall catch you in the next one.
Toodaloo, motherfucker.
Hey, you